Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love.
Do-do-do-do.
Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day fiancé.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gates. Let's love.
What a quote to age poorly from Becky of the the pot hags. What boundary does Andrei think we're gonna overstep? I mean, how could I possibly interfere?
Yeah.
Cue 3 seasons later.
Yes.
That was a Seinfeld quote when George was trying to go to Elaine's office party, and she's like, let me in there. And she's like, no, George, you'll interfere. He's like, how could I possibly interfere? and Jerry said, isn't that what Jack Ruby said?
Yeah. That made me laugh pretty hard just because I really like what I like about watching their early stuff is what we talked about when we got together is you see that like it's sad and it's also kind of riveting that like I know that probably some stuff is for Audacity or reenacted in their storylines presently. However, that all started from this seed of just they always mistrusted him. He always hated them. Like it always. And so to go back, it's just like,
extreme cultural differences because they hate anybody who's not like them. Mm-hmm. And he resents their entitlement almost to his own fault.
Yeah. And he doesn't really like it when people don't agree with him. But y'all, his Instagram and TikTok is balling right now because he knows what he's doing. Y'all, let's just say
she's pimping him out too. She's like, take your shirt off.
She's like, take your shirt off, Andrei. Take it off. Show me your Andrei. Show me your butt. And he's like, yes, baby. I'm here for it.
There is something about those 3 women that there's something about just the way they talk to each other. And like, oh my God. And Jen's like saying, it's like, Libby's having a baby. It's like I'm having a baby. No. It's not, because you're in a way, they're all super, there's no boundaries at all.
Yeah. But when she said that, didn't that make you go, oh, no wonder they got so pissed off when they found out Libby was pregnant for the second time on Instagram.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
But I don't blame them now because the family is so awful. They try to co-opt everything for their own kind of gains.
Yeah, you see how they're really trying to get their dad to go against Andrei. And now that we know that that Andrei and Chuck are friends and in business together, it's like, it's like watching the prequel to how Darth Vader was made in Star Wars, but it's actually better than those first 3 movies.
Yeah. That was the weird Star Wars metaphor.
You're not Star, but they're with me on this. Welcome back, by the way.
This is classless.
This class, we want to make sure you tune into our before the 90 days. Make sure that you get your or was it the other way? You can be sure to get your My Night with Tay Tay, as I'm calling it.
Your Taylor Swift concert.
Everybody's tagging me in the picture. Yeah, they're tagging me the picture of Gail and Channing Tatum.
Oh, I
And
didn't see that.
yeah, y'all stop tagging me. Channing and Gail and we've got a thread going. We're friends, so don't worry about it.
Um,
We're good.
someone said, "Why would Poodle not want Maddie to go to the Taylor Swift concert? Are you new?"
Because Poodle doesn't want anyone to do something if it's what he wants to do,
It's
and
not
this is
no,
like, and
it's
he
not
loves
even that.
Taylor.
You know nothing about her.
Look, y'all.
I've been a fan for a long time, and I could not get tickets because the Capital One pre-sale fucking debacle.
But you got to go to Monterey. Did you go to the aquarium? I forgot to ask you.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's fun.
Everyone lost their minds over it. It
I
was
didn't
good.
lose.
It was
It was
good.
good, but the thing is
It smelled
the
like urine in there.
the dark room with the jellyfish, that was
Yes, I
cool.
liked it. It was fine. I said I was walking through there. I'm like, yeah, I've done this. I never need to come back.
Same, yeah. Did you go to any of the shops in Carmel? I meant to ask you that. Did you go
I went
window
to.
shopping?
I don't like to shop for knickknacks.
Oh,
That's not
oh,
me.
I bought a Christmas ornament when I was there. I bought some local chocolate.
I looked at some of that stuff. I would much rather look around for stuff, and I would want to, instead of, you know me, instead of buying things, I'd rather have experiences.
Oh, I had really good food there too. Had some great restaurants.
Um, I I we had to kind of work, not that we had to work hard, but there were a lot of places suggested to us, or like the touristy places, the food did not look good, and so we had to go outside of that a lot of times. But
I
we
went
found,
places that Sissy suggested
yeah,
me.
me too,
Yeah, yeah.
and I ate really
Locals.
well. I ate very well.
Well,
Um,
good.
but
Anyway.
no, I loved that vacation. My favorite thing was we had these things. I'll tell you, and even though we're not a sponsor, I feel like I should be though.
Oh no.
But it's called Voice Map. It's an app. I used it during Colombia as well. You can do like walking tours or like almost GPS tours, and they will, like, you can do driving or walking tours, and you'll get to certain GPS things, and there's someone who knows a lot about the area, and it's like an audio tour.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. Kevin Costner was doing an app like that, and I think it just like failed, but kind of like where you could drive around and it would.
yeah,
I would love that.
Voice Map. We did that for the 17-mile drive and Big Sur.
All right, that's
This
enough.
one
They're
was
not sponsoring us. That's all you can do.
Voice Map. If you're listening, you're not.
You're not.
I would gladly sponsor you because I
Do you have
love.
to pay for it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't if you were a sponsor. Voice Map. See what I mean?
Wow. I can't talk about a purple bed, and you get to do
But
this.
you do it in such a pandering way. It's unfortunate.
It's fine. I had to buy a purple bed anyway.
I this is episode
What?
1 of Happily Ever After, season 4, Team B, After the Dust Settles.
I have to.
And that's the remnants of Becky's and Jen's nose jobs.
Uh,
And
I will.
probably Megan's too, let's be honest.
Yeah, this is before Megan got her tits done. With the butthole brigade.
Yeah.
Remember, y'all, because we've seen all their buttholes apparently on OnlyFans. Um,
Again, I'm not going to shame anyone for showing your
no,
butthole. Been known to in my own line of work, but
are they still on OnlyFans? I don't
they're
know. I
probably
don't.
not very active.
Andrei was for a little bit, but I don't know if he is anymore.
I don't think he ever showed anything.
I subscribed for a month from our Reality Gaze business card, and then there
Yeah,
was nothing to
I'm
see.
sure it was a great business opportunity.
It's a write-off. Let us know,
Boy,
sissies, if you're into butthole. But Becky, the whatever works, she looks real pretty. I have to say, she looks good.
but you've seen the mugshot, the previous mugshot,
Oh, it's a different
right?
person.
It's a that was like radical work done.
Yeah, good for
Yeah.
her. All right, let's just jump into.
Announcements.
Well, welcome to Plathville for people on the $8
Yes.
tier. That's coming back on September 5th. We just found out the trailer looks real good and juicy and messy.
Bombastic.
Mama Plath has
And
a boyfriend, y'all.
Yeah, Mother Plath is getting regular sex. If you're out there going, "Wait, she's getting railed regularly. I need to get on that."
Wow.
Think about that.
Mama Plath is getting more dick than I am right now.
Yes, she is. She's a connoisseur.
By the
She's
way,
she's kind of a dick pig, you can tell.
oh, for sure. I want to thank all the sissies with braces who reached out to me and said, Maddie, you're going to be able to suck dick just fine. Because when I had braces, I was in high school. So
You weren't doing a lot of sucking
I
dick.
wasn't sucking dick then. So
No.
I didn't know. I wasn't even really kissing a lot. I didn't know. So I don't know how this goes. A rim
Uh,
job though, I'd be tentative to give a rim job with braces.
ooh, I think
You'd have
you're
to be
better.
very lippy, kind of like this. Mhm,
Wow,
mhm,
wow, wow.
mhm,
No, don't do that. Don't ever do that.
mhm.
I'm closing my eyes. Yikes. Yes, the rumors are true. You are getting adult braces. It feels very much of a personal attack. I'll be honest.
Oh.
I think like you should get a second opinion.
You can see a little bit of that clip from our intimate portrait. That's for the people in the $15 tier that get the video. You can see a small clip of that. We do need to know on the intimate portrait, Poodle goes on and on for about 5 more minutes of a reaction to my braces.
It's you know what? I think if you would have told me you needed to get adult braces 2 years before you did Invisalign, I think I would have been fine with it.
Apparently, it's a common thing. I've had like 4 or 5 sissies either comment or message me and say, "That happened to me. They can only do so much with Invisalign." And then they wanted to put braces on me. Although almost all of them said, "Nah, I'm good." And I'm like, "Not me. I don't want to bite on the side of my teeth."
That's happening?
It's not this isn't cosmetic. It's because he needs to widen my top mouth out my wider and bring in my bottom one smaller, and
Were
Invisalign won't do
you
that.
were you created like a Frankenstein monster? What the fuck
And,
happened?
you're not a dental person, but it's a class 3. It's a very it's the hardest kind of bite to correct.
How about how about I'll get a couple people to hold you down and I
At this
just crack your jaw with a sledgehammer.
I've already had that done. I already had my jaw broken,
Because you know what?
when
It
I
probably
jaw
wouldn't help you, but it would really help me.
make you feel better. Anyway, I'm going to petition for headgear. That's really what I'm at now.
You know what? If it corrects your what I call your wet speech,
Nope,
that
not
would
gonna do anything about that. Just
that would
help my
help
bite.
that would help me.
Gonna talk the same.
Well, how about we make a deal? You can get braces but then you get speech therapy for me.
How about this? I'll get braces and then you can pay for the speech therapy.
Done. But
Yeah,
I'll
uh-huh.
I'll get a Groupon.
Yeah, you'll get exactly. Yeah. I'll be like,
I'll find somebody on Yelp.
"Jake, this guy doesn't speak English."
So go.
I don't wanna
Yeah, you'll
talk like anybody else. I talk like me.
you'll get a Groupon, and we'll have you in a room full of like 6 people, and you'll all see yellow leather, yellow leather, yellow leather.
I'll do the speech one, and I'll get you a Groupon for manners.
No, no, that's too late.
It's too late. It's too late. Let's talk about Sean. I don't think we have any other announcements, though.
No,
Platteville's coming back. We're going to give you a try before you buy. So that will be available on this tier and on the public
in
tier
September. Yeah.
the week it comes out. And then if y'all want to jump onto that, you can. Yeah, September, I think that's it. And let's jump in.
Chantel and Pedro. This is
I'm
we are house hunting in Savannah, which I do not buy for a second.
No, y'all, this episode's kind of boring with them, and it made me go, ugh, are we just going to recount the same shit of my family hates you, you have family, blah, blah, blah. Because I made me honestly not look forward to the family Chantel, which is what we're going to be covering after.
Oh,
How hold on, let me finish though. However, y'all, we've already done a couple of watch alongs for we've already recorded them of us watching the
mhm.
episodes coming up. You forget that it's worth it because Chantel's family is cuckoo, crazy, Magoo, and just chef's kiss.
They're made for television.
They really are.
The what kind of
Yeah. So if you're rolling your eyes, bear with us after this first because in the words of the it gets better.
things are gonna get stupider and stupider. Um, of course, we see clips of the Robin Martinelli
Mhm,
of Martinelli's famous cider,
mhm.
um, and the fight, the legendary SmackDown fight. And y'all, they've had no contact, or Pedro's had no contact with his family, with her family since the fight. Chantel rarely sees them, and they're in Savannah, and Chantel says Pedro's not giving my family a chance, and I find her argument here to have so many holes in it. And let me, and it's like anybody who's watching can go, he's not giving my family a chance. The family aren't making overtures to him to reach
No,
out. So
no, no.
what
She
should
does act thank you for saying that because she acts like they're just
so this is such a logical fallacy. I don't what Let me ask you a question. What does Chantel expect Pedro to do? What does she expect him to do?
okay, clearly apologize and say he started the fight, but that's neither here nor there. But like I think what you're asking, like, what does she expect him to do? Like he can't She I think it's that her family is so fucking weird that's normal to her. Maybe she doesn't realize that even the way they speak to him, the way they keep coming at him, like how can I agree with you. I don't know what can he reasonably do
Right.
except for just tell this family and say, "Yeah, I am here to fraud your daughter and take advantage of her." Like because they're not going to be satisfied until they have that answer from him.
Exactly. I 100% agree, and it's hard to watch. Yeah, Pedro is an asshole in later seasons. We've and there was almost certainly adultery there that was happening.
I
But
think he was still conning her a little bit too.
um but what was he supposed to do to make things work between her and the family?
Yeah. Nothing
Because
there's nothing he can do.
they're later on they are in this awful dive bar with plastic cups, which we said it's called like Chuck's Bar. Looks like a gay bar. We
We
said this.
sissies, we need to know because we tried Googling and then
It was
Poodle
called
got on
Chuck's Bar.
Grinder message, and then I got a message from judygarland.com about a new and then we got distracted.
Oh, I'm here. I'm looking at Chuck's Bar, Savannah. Closed.
Oh.
Great place to get
Railed?
great uh it looks like it's a nice reprieve from the overcrowded and loud bars on River Street, which is, I'm sure, why they filmed there. Um,
Ooh, this Yelp review says divey, gritty, a gritty dive bar that I would say is more gay than gay friendly,
wow,
but
it's a
it's not
shame
a
that
gay bar.
but it's gay bar in quotes. It
Yes.
looked like a gay bar.
I wanna go
Anyway,
to a gay bar in Savannah. I've never been to Savannah.
I know I need to take you. I need to go through like the whole southern route.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah,
We could do a road
so you can
trip.
see what the real South is.
We could do podcast. I agree, Oklahoma and Texas are not the South. We could do a podcast on the road and
I don't
record and
like
then
that
stop.
part.
I think that'd be fun.
So he this thing what he said was revelatory for me.
What?
He said, "You know what, Chantel? She said this. Me moving away from my family is like me making the same sacrifice that you made to come to America. And I went, isn't that actually a good argument for him to make?
Yeah.
I've decided she is dumb.
Oh, I've said
Like,
this. I've been saying this for like 2 she's an idiot.
I just don't think there's a lot of she doesn't express herself well because I think I don't think she's actually a stupid person. I just think the way she expresses herself is not really helpful to get out what she wants.
I think a lot of it she's very muted because I think being with those parents and
Yeah,
her and River who gets on my fucking nerves because he acts like her fucking father, like he's so opinionated about shit. But I think that she, uh, doesn't feel like she gets much of her say in her life
I agree
anyway.
with that. But what did you do when he said that? I went, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he could say, "Can we get some distance from your family so we can feel like we're." I completely understand him here.
I do too.
And the fact that she's like, well, I don't know if we should do that because that's asking me to make the same sacrifice, and I haven't made any sacrifices. Oh wait, I just lied to my family the whole first year we were together.
You had him sign a prenup when you got married at the marriage.
It's true. And then she says, and Pedro's like, none of this is my fault. It's not my fault that your family doesn't like me. And she's like, no, it's all your fault. That is one of those things that you could hear and it's just like hyperbole, but he's like, "Oh, it's all my fault." And she kind of kept doubling
She
down.
kept down and because she said in the moment, she's like, at this point, Pedro isn't even trying anymore. And I went, is your family trying?
No.
Actually trying?
The this could have and a sug one suggestion I would have made, it would have never happened because no one here is reasonable. Not Chantel, not
No, no
Pedro,
one.
not the family Chantel. No one's reasonable. But it does seem like an outside observer, maybe her friend, who was her friend who was so smart with,
Oh, her
I
friend.
forget her name.
Oh,
The
what
one
was her
who
name?
did everything for her
Yeah,
wedding.
she went to the yeah.
Um, but
Is it Destiny?
no, it was like two syllables. So
Oh,
they they's like, what if we sat down with a therapist or even just a mediator, sat down with someone in the middle and said, how can we how can we reach across the aisle to each other? What can we admit we did wrong to the other? What can but no one will do
no.
that.
But again, like you're saying it, and I feel my chest get tight because I'm like, but they won't even. There's no rationale that anybody's agreeing upon. And also it's none of it is realistic. Like I actually think Pedro started out I'll walk back a little bit. Part of me feels like it was a con all along for Pedro, but then another part feels like maybe it wasn't. Maybe he was like, look, she's hot. I do like
Do
her, hold on, let me finish. I do like her, but then, like, he started being around this family, and he was like, because honestly, if I was Pedro, like, 6 months in, I'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck? I'm just gonna ride this train and get my green card and get out because this family is horrible."
okay, let me follow that. So if he was conning her from the beginning, do you think these tears are fake at the end of this episode?
That's a good question. I think no one could have known it was gonna go this bad, and I think that I'm imagining that when the tears come from it will make you think, yeah, that they I think
Because I think
I
this,
think
I don't think he was conning her from the beginning. I disagree.
I go back and forth. And that's a good point to make. Like, why would he be crying? I
Because
don't know
I
the answer
she
to
even
that. Yeah.
says he even says this the next morning, you guys, and he says, "You blamed me." He said, "You told me everything's my fault," and she's like, "You don't want to have a kid with me because you say you don't want children in a chaotic family." And Pedro's like, "You're perfect. The piece of trash is me."
Yeah.
And that is honestly, if I was him, that's what I'd feel like.
It might not be love too. It might be he's crying because of the situation he is in and he feels worthless and he feels like I think are both of those things. I think he felt like again, when he said a piece of trash like me, like I think that's how his family makes him feel constantly.
His
Constantly.
you mean
Or
her
her family.
family.
Her family.
I see, I think I don't think it was a con from the beginning. I disagree. I think him wanting to have a kid, I think this is someone who he thought he could have a life with.
Okay.
It may have
Just
turned
didn't know she
into
was gonna have the family from hell.
yeah, it may have turned into I'm biding my time because I've fallen out of in love with this person.
I
But
think had to.
I disagree. I disagree that it was a con from the beginning.
Mm.
I think that's what her family thinks, and they will always think that.
Sissy, sound off. Sissy, sound off. You know what? We should do a poll. I'm gonna post a poll. We'll do a little
Was Pedro? We need to be specific about it though, because
oh
you can't
god.
say
It's
is
easy. Was
Pedro
Pedro conning Chantel from the beginning or not? Boom.
or no. What do we? No, you need to do. You're bad at this.
I'm not bad at this. It's fine.
No, you say, what do you think about Pedro and Chantel? A. Pedro was conning her from the beginning. B. So you need
It's
to have three answers.
this is too many options. It's a yes or no. It's like it's like a like are we gonna fuck or not? It's a yes or no question. The
Uh,
answer to that's always yes, by the way, if you ask if
say,
your husband had yeah.
um, but I think that's not very layered because I think the answer is layered.
Uh, well, then you can do the poll. But to me, I just want to know. To me, it's not a layered question. It's was he or wasn't he? Now, from the beginning. Now, if everybody says no, maybe if later on, yes, he want. But that's not what I'm not asking if later on he fell out of love with her.
I just don't think a lot of people agree with you. I
That's fine. I don't. I.
then do the poll. I guess I was trying to get some more data than just that answer.
It's not that scientific. All right, we're gonna do a poll. Something's gonna come up.
Um, that's all I've got about them.
It's hard, like, when he does like, she tries to hug him, and he's like, "No, no," which to me, that is such like a, to me, I as a from looking at it from a couples therapist mindset, I went, "Oh, this is the beginning of the end for this." Like, she can't even comfort him anymore because he doesn't feel safe with her doing that.
Yeah, you can tell he was there. Like Pedro, she even said, "What's wrong?" And the fact that she could not tell he was hurt, and it took this long.
It is too, like, she says this stuff to him without I mean, her family and her, they they win the award for not putting themselves in somebody else's shoes. She doesn't ever think about his feelings,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least on
Ugh.
camera.
Nickel is back. Nickel and Azan.
Nickel,
What
yup.
y'all? One of our major deities of the
Oh,
universe of dysfunction
I
that
am
we live
actually
in.
doing, now that I do tarot and stuff like that, I'm starting to
Yeah. Oh, do you do? I've never heard about
yeah,
that.
uh-huh. I keep telling you could do it to get your neighbor out, but you won't do it.
I don't think tarot gets my neighbor out of her
Or at
apartment.
least a spell, but whatever. But I'm gonna tell you this: I've been doing spells to get Nickel back. I want her back, whether it's on single life, something.
I don't know. I think she's been kind of done with it. I think she
She needs money. She'll be back.
I think it is the greatest failure of the Sharp that he couldn't get Nickelback for more.
Oh,
But
I
I think she kind of got beat up on social media too much. So
oh.
it makes sense why she decided not to.
Thanks, y'all, for ruining it.
But y'all, Nickel, and the story of Nickel and Azan is just one of the classic 90 Day Tales.
It is.
It has everything. I
It,
I also
yeah,
forgot that Nickel is only 25 years old.
she's so young. I want to say, if you don't know the story of Nickel, I want to tell you to turn this off
The
right now
tale of Nickel and
and
Azan.
go back and watch and listen to our podcast of it. Like I'm sorry, but you don't know what you're talking. You don't know what you're
Yeah.
experiencing if you're just now.
This is the third chapter.
Yeah.
We've had their 90 Day Fiance.
Mhm.
And then their first happily ever after season, and this is their second, which I believe is our last, or
I
maybe not.
I think this
I
is our
hope. I think it is our
no.
last. Yep.
It's our last. Because we're done with
I
90 Day
think.
Fiancé after
Wait,
this.
Didn't they have two 90 Day Fiance seasons? I think they
I
might have
think
had
they
two,
did. So maybe this is the 4th maybe it's 2 90 Day I think they had 2 90 Day Fiancé
and
seasons
then
and
one
then
happily ever
Happily Ever
after,
After. Yeah.
and this is the two Hays. I could get it. I could watch
I
them
would look
all.
it up, but I don't wanna check it. I mean, I know that they're not together. That isn't a spoiler alert.
Um,
Everybody knows, but I don't know
she's
the spoilers, so don't tell us.
her her we mentioned this on the watch along. The blonde hair is crying out for some type of cream conditioner. It's bad. It's
It's real
fried.
it's like it's a white brassy
It's
hair, and
too blonde.
it's not good. She had which makes me sad because really that was her calling card. She had beautiful hair.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful color.
We
Looked like she put too
we
much
get
sun in.
we get clips of how they met, and I met Azan through a social media app. The way they say it now is it sounds so archaic. Through a social media app.
You know what? Now people are starting. I've noticed on 90 Day, people say now Instagram and TikTok. They don't say
Or I
social
met on
media.
TikTok. They met
Hmm.
on Tinder. It may have been one time where they were afraid that they were sponsoring. Um,
Maybe
because it may have been some of those apps were trademarked. Um, and they thought they might be. I
because
think
it's been
because
in the.
Instagram, I think you almost have to stay Instagram. You can't say we met on a social media app with pictures and stories.
Yeah, what do you say?
So we saw clips of their meeting, clips of her body checking him,
Yes,
clips of her standing in the doorway glowering at him.
just offering a knuckle sandwich or
Yes,
marriage.
she is that girl on the bus, y'all. Oof.
She is. Now, remember, she has one of the arguably cutest children in 90 Day
Oh,
Fiancé
May.
history, May, with her cute little bangs. She's a single mom. Y'all, there's a lot to talk about. Nicole, she used to live in a church.
Kind of a church resort slash evangelism center, and she
Yep.
worked at the church coffee house, which I'm convinced was named Higher Grounds.
You were convinced.
Or Jordan
Holy grounds.
River Jordan Coffee Company.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Um, it's
God,
yeah,
strong brewed faith based coffee.
yeah. Strong morals blend. Um,
Ugh.
so she so anyway, she's been back now for 7 months since we had the famous, if y'all don't remember what happened before, and they're gonna flash back and show you, but remember that she was gonna get married over there. She tried on the wedding dresses. Rob Ali, her mother, came over,
Yeah,
um, and
and they
she basically found out that they had opened a makeup store.
they were no longer planning. And y'all, there's that scene they show it. I meant to take a screenshot and post it, but it was the scene with she's looking down while Azan talks about they canceled their makeup, and I'm like, this is what my face was when Maddie was telling the Taylor Swift concert story.
Oh, it was, really was. Yeah, just
I was
sad.
just looking down at the floor.
Just sad. I gotta say, y'all, we think Azan's big old homo, gay, 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 and the fact that he opened up a makeup store, it
No,
kind of,
health and beauty.
yeah, no, it's y'all. As we learned, there is no store at what I love.
There
I,
never has been any store.
I think there's actually a tier on Pink
It
Shade's
is.
Patreon called Nicole's Makeup Store, and
Yes.
basically you give them money every month and you get nothing. You just give them $2.
So this idea of she's still keeping this charade going of this, even the sister Rachel, whose name is spelled, now I've seen Rachel spelled different ways. I've seen it Rachalael,
Yeah, I've seen
and
that.
then Rachel. I don't
Hmm.
think I've ever seen Racheal, like Rachel.
Rachel.
but I've seen the AE.
Rachel. Yeah.
Um, uh, but yeah, so she's living with her sister Rachel
Rachel.
and Thomas. Remember Thomas, the smartest child alive,
He's
who
the one that
said,
looks like Norman Rockwell painting and who's like
yeah,
in the Marines now or something.
and I think this is probably the sister who said, I think this is the sister who said, well, she could come back in a body bag, and then Thomas said, no, it'd be worse for her to not come back at all. They were talking about their sister's dead body.
It was so good.
So they keep saying, so how's the makeup store going? And
She's
the
like, it's
shop
going great.
It's going great. It's a shop. What else do you need to know? And the other thing that makes Nicole so watchable, you guys, is the fact that she treats everyone with concerns in her life like crap.
Oh, the
and
entitlement of this woman.
she thinks she knows better than anybody else in her life. And
Always.
it's truly one of the most spectacular things about her.
She's also a pathological liar.
Yes, that's
She lies about everything. She always has so many secrets.
And she's also extremely jealous and possessive. And she made Azan quit his job that he had because he wasn't around to text her.
God, I wish she was on this show again.
Me too.
Man, you're bringing up all these qualities that make me want to love her.
And she says something again. She's like, we've been arguing a lot, but what couple doesn't argue a lot? Well, you can argue. I don't know if I'd call you the perfect picture of an American couple or couple in general.
Hey, you never know. Some couples don't argue a lot and they still break up.
Exactly. And the last thing she said, I'm glad that had a lot of bitterness to it.
No, it wasn't about. I was just saying though that there is some people who are like you never saw them argue, and you're like,
That's
what?
true.
They just got divorced.
Well, a lot of people don't argue in public. Unlike my family,
I was gonna say, yeah,
my parents argued in public. I don't know what I would prefer.
the shit that Ryan Steakhouse in Greenville saw.
We didn't like Ryan's. My mother did not like buffet restaurants.
Great.
She was concerned that the value she was getting wasn't quality.
Wow.
She enjoys a salad bar, but she does not like a buffet. God. So, the last thing she says in this little section is, "Y'all, I want to see Azan and Perfect as soon as possible, so he can dick me down."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, let's just finish up with
Lib.
Andrei. Yo, they've been married a year. Andrei is shirtless. This is when he had a little pudge to him.
Ooh, I love this.
And
Andrei.
his body's still banging though. And they've been married a year. And she's like, "Are you wearing sunscreen? Let me put sunscreen on you."
Fine by me.
And
Andrei's like, we are best friends. And Louis like, well, I'm smarter sometimes. And he's like, you just have to listen to me 100%. Y'all, this is what I say this. They did a great job of showing you, like, he's a brute. That's why she's in love with him. Like, she gets off on it, and they get off on this power play with one another.
It's totally, it follows them into the bedroom. It totally does.
It is textbook every relationship Poodle had in his 30s.
Yeah, and late 20s too. I don't know about it. Kind of stopped being fun.
Maybe about mid 30s, you stop.
About mid 30s, it stops being fun.
But they're in that, and that's the kind of relationship. So you think like, oh, they're treating each other badly. He treats her like shit. She treats him like no. They're both, ironically, they're both fine. The two of them don't have problems. It's all their fucking
well, and she's enmeshed, and she's the baby of the family. And they all, and so she's been brought up to find it normal for them to criticize her. And it's not that she doesn't like it, or it's not that she likes it, because she doesn't like it. She just doesn't know how to stop it.
She's the whipping girl of the family.
Yeah. And when Andrei came in, it was a different type of isotope that was introduced to this family, because they all just kind of bristled. And
And Chuck is the one
now
that makes the money, and they fall in line.
exactly. So, y'all, he still doesn't have a full-time job. I believe I think he hasn't does he have his green card yet? I think he may have
Yeah,
gotten his
he
green
does
card
have a
yet.
green card. He does.
So they're staying in a Chuck rental property for rent free. So one thing I've got to ask, yes, she's pregnant, but
What?
without rent, pregnant,
Thank you.
without rent, how much can their expenses be if she's making a salary and
They're
he's
in, like,
working
Tampa,
part-time?
Florida. It's not
Yeah.
crazy expensive to live there, so it's not as cheap as, like,
Yeah. So they're expecting, yes. So that's another. You're trying obviously to save money, and I'm sure they're motivated because they're thinking, but I can't Chuck as long as there's a baby in her stomach and she has Chuck's grandchild. They're gonna live rent free. It's
yeah.
fine.
It probably costs them $2,000 a month to live on expenses.
Yeah, and that's why I just want to put that out there that I find that idea of him not having a full-time job, but their living is paid for. Their lodging is paid for, and their
Mhm.
anyway.
And
That's when
we're not gonna find out on this season of Happily Ever After, and we've already covered them, so this isn't we all know they're still together. But actually, in later seasons of 90 Day Fiancé, the plot point is Andrei is the caretaker at home and watches the baby
yes,
because
yes,
Libby is the one that has a job and he can't. And what that is such a good example of, sometimes when someone moves from another country, no matter what their education is, what they
yeah,
can't get a great job. Although I bet it's really easy for immigrants to get jobs in Florida, don't you
very
think?
easy.
Just so easy. Just walk right in. But so
We
she's the
we
one who
we,
made them.
we definitely don't need illegal immigration.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not as though the U.S. economy is based on it.
Yes, so I bring that up though, that like to me, like you're saying, that makes complete sense. She can make more money, they can live somewhere rent free. When she has a baby, it's gonna be cheaper than he probably wouldn't be able to make enough money that wasn't because I think he said he has his truck driving
He's
license,
that's the part-time
but
thing. Yeah,
y'all, he would if he did that, he would be gone
all the time.
constantly.
Yeah. Anyway, then the sisters are basically saying, I'm studying how to be a mom," and she's playing
Hi.
with the rest of the pot hags, and that's when Jen says, Libby's having a baby. It's like we're all having a baby." And then they're complaining about Andre still not having a job, and
Y'all get used to that. That's gonna happen for a while.
and I'm sure there'll be a lot of hijinks with Chuck this season. And if you haven't seen pictures of the little boy, spoiler, they have a little boy named Leo now. It's their second child. Um, looks just like a baby Chuck, like
Just like a
full
baby.
on making Chuck faces at the camera.
Yeah, it's cute. I Becky said one thing, and I wanna ask your opinion. Becky says they're talking, and Libby's like, "Well, we just wanna have our life, and we want dad and everyone to let us live our life." And Becky said, "When you rely on someone for money, they're gonna be in your life, and you're staying in our dad's house for free. That's just gonna happen."
Isn't that rich?
I was gonna say, I don't that's such an American way of thinking that if I give you money, then that means I have access to your whole life.
Well, their whole family relationship is transactional.
Yeah.
It is all of what dad shows that he loves them by paying for things. And as soon as dad takes the money away, he doesn't love them anymore.
I
And
might if
that's
you're misusing it, I might have if I'm giving you money, I might be able to get in the know of your finances with you, but
right.
that's about
But
it.
that's what I'm saying. The
It's so transactional,
when
you're
one
right.
is given more money or one is favored the other by financially, greed overtakes them all because they're all greedy, venal motherfuckers in this family. They're all terrible. The Libby's the best of them.
She
Charlie's
is.
most likely the worst of them.
Yeah.
And it's just this family. If you could put Florida in a gene pool, that's the podcasts.
Sorry to our sissies in Florida who are but,
I'm not.
we can't
Y'all,
say
you
gay
know
yet,
it's true.
so y'all know
You know it's true.
I follow this TikTok account. I forget, this woman like sings news stories on the piano. She's like a musical theater person. And she's like, there was a man in Florida and he was drunk and he was trying to help his girlfriend move. So he was pushing her in a wheelbarrow. And then I was like, okay. And then and then
Wheelbarrow.
that's what I said.
You
And
said
then
wheelbarrow.
that's
Wheelbarrow.
that's what I said.
You know there's a difference.
Wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow. No, that's how we said it.
But do you know how it's spelled?
ARROW.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah,
I
wheelbarrow.
thought you thought it was wheelbarrow.
Oh, no. And so,
Okay, I'm just checking.
and so he's pushing her. He's like, pushing her. Well, now it's not funny. You ruined it.
No, I was really concerned that you thought it was wheelbarrow.
Well, it's gone now. Y'all just follow me on TikTok. I'll repost it.
It's like the point is mute. It's a mute
fine.
point.
It's fine. That's a show,
That's
everybody.
the show.
You can go to realitygaze.com. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate it. That's it. Get ready. This is, this was actually, because this is the first episode, this was a free feed show. So all of you, if you want to hear.
Well, there were, this is the second episode.
But we do part 1 and B.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is a free public feed show. So for the rest of you, if you want to hear more of this, you're going to have to subscribe to RG Plus at the $5 tier. That will give you the classless or the classic 90 Day Fiance episodes. It also give you all of our binges, Love is Blind, Selling Sunset.
And your monthly by Curious.
And your monthly by Curious.
July's poll is going to be up very soon.
If you want to listen to our shows ad-free, that will be on the $8 tier that you will need to join for that, which will give you all of this ad-free of our public feed shows, and also will give you Love After Lockup and coming up, Welcome to Plathville.
Yes.
Or you can do the $15 tier, which is everything we just talked about plus video, which that is only available on Patreon and Supercast for the video tier.
Yep. No Apple subscriptions.
That's it, y'all. There you go. All right, sissies, we love you. We appreciate you. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. But until later, Poodle, we call these people lonely hearts because aren't they all just a butthole brigade looking for hearts in backyards? God, didn't it look so humid in that backyard?
Yeah.
It looks so
yes.
gross in all the wrong backyards.
And if you've shown your brown eye for money,
oh, well.
Call us. I think all of us raised their hands.